What is up, everyone? StonePost34 here, bringing you Growing Up with StonePost. And this video will be about this. It's actually the sequel to My First Girlfriend. So you'll get a few pictures in this video. I'll kind of scatter them throughout the video, and that was a nice fail. Sorry about that. Gameplay real quick, WMD, running the Galil. And anyway, enough about that. So anyway, My First Girlfriend, she was from Spain. A foreign exchange student, met her when I lived in Chicago. So here's how it went down. This is going to be a brief synopsis of our 4-year relationship. So we spent the entire year, my junior year, in Chicago. Went to Naperville, and we had a great time. She was in a foreign exchange student program. She's from Madrid, and you know what? We had basically 9 months together, and did a lot of fun things. We'd go downtown Chicago together. Spent time with my family. Her mom actually came in from Madrid towards the end of the year to just see where she was living and meet her host family and meet my family, and that went great. So my dad was actually on loan to a fiber optics school. He taught fiber optics up in the Chicagoland area. We were from Kansas, but he was on a 5-year contract. So I knew at some point we'd be leaving. So I actually found out my junior year, right before she was leaving, that my family was moving back to Kansas. I had several offers from friends and friends' families to actually let me stay with them during my senior year, because nobody wants to move during their senior year. Needless to say, my parents said we're a family and we stay together. And between Blanca going back to Spain, me going back to Kansas, and losing all my friends, I'll just level with you, it was the worst year of my life. So it couldn't get any worse. So we moved back to Kansas, and this is before email, guys. Email kind of came about my freshman year in college, when it got huge. So I mean, it was still around, but it wasn't mainstream. This was kind of when AOL hit the mainstream. So we wrote letters, 2 to 3 a week, and actually I still have in my basement stacks and stacks of letters that we wrote back and forth. And I don't know if she still has mine, but I kept all hers. So anyway, I got a job, saved up quite a bit of money. I wasn't a big spender, still not a big spender. Saved up quite a bit of money, and I went to Spain that summer, and also paid for her plane ticket to come back with me. So I flew out there right after I graduated from high school, and then came back and brought her back, and then we had a family reunion here. Actually went up to Michigan for that. So the relationship was great. We spent a lot of fun time together. We did this back and forth thing basically for through college, and she'd come back, and then she actually got a scholarship to come to Kansas, and she went to a university in Kansas, and this is where it kind of went downhill. So at that time I was I think 20, 21, no 20, I think I was 20, and she had in her mind that we were going to get married, and I was way too young, and I gotta tell you, it freaked me out. It really did, and it probably freaked me out too much. I probably should have just stuck with it and try to talk her off the cliff. But she was convinced that we were going to move into some married student housing here in Kansas, go to college together, finish out our degrees, and she was going to move to the United States. So, without too much detail on it, it really was a matter of I kind of freaked out. There was certain advantages to having a long-distance relationship, and not the ones you guys are thinking, but it's low maintenance. It's low to no maintenance, and I just wrote a lot of letters, and I cared about her. We called like once a week, and so I guess I did. I copped out, and it is what it is. So we had a lot of great times. I went to Spain. Was able to see multiple cities, traveled Spain an entire summer, basically spent 8 weeks on the road traveling, and what a beautiful country it is. Spent time in Portugal, got to live with an entirely different culture. Not that it's that different, but it is different. So there's a lot of upside to it. And before I did this video, I started thinking, what were the downsides? And I can think of a few incidents. She was a passionate lady, and if I upset her, she let me know. For example, we went out. This was actually when we were that first year we were dating. We went out with a group of Spanish students, foreign exchange students in the Chicagoland area. There were about 30 of them that were in this group. We went out with them, and of course I was invited, and we hung out at this restaurant. And the rule they had in this program was they were not allowed to speak Spanish anytime, because they wanted them to immerse themselves in the culture and the language and learn English. So I made a comment at the table. They were all speaking Spanish, and I knew Spanish, but I wasn't. When you get Spanish people going, it's hard to keep up. So I made a comment. I said, I can't understand you guys. And she took it as, you're not supposed to be speaking Spanish. She takes her glass of water and throws it right in my face. I get up from the table. I walk off. I'm speechless. Things like that. So she was a very passionate woman. And, a lot of good memories. Got to see a lot of cool cities. But I put up a few photos of you guys. These photos are actually from my brother's wedding back up in Chicago that year. This is the year between my freshman year in college and high school. So, and I actually rendered a bunch of videos for my parents, home videos, and I'm not going to put any of those up, but, just kind of brought back some of the good memories that we did have, and it's, it's great to have a long-term relationship, but it wasn't as long-term. It's not like I spent every waking hour with her, because all we did basically was see each other over the summers, and and then that last year when she actually came to Kansas, and I freaked out, and I'd feel horrible, but kind of left her high and dry halfway through that year, because it did freak me out, and she was basically here in Kansas, and that's something I'm not proud of, but I did what I thought was right for myself, and I think it was right for myself. I have a wonderful wife, I have 2 beautiful children, and I'm completely happy with that. But at that time, it did seem bigger than life, and it was something that I really wasn't prepared to get into. So anyway, guys, that's kind of how it ended. That's a very brief way of describing that relationship. So if you guys have questions, leave me a message, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up, please. I'd appreciate that, and send me a message, guys. I'd like to also thank you. Just hit over 400 subscribers. You guys are incredible. Thank you. And if you guys have any ideas on growing up with Stonepost or any questions for me, I'd love to hear them, and just send me a message, and we'll see if we can't do a video for you. Anyway, guys, the game's winding down. Take care, everybody. This is Stonepost 34.